Like, your calories are your calories. If you're gaining at the right rate, perfect.
Jello Beats, holla at me.
Hey guys, so welcome back to another video. We're going to talk about the reality of a gaining phase and what you might see or what you might want to expect when going into a gaining or a massing phase or a bulking phase, whatever you want to call it. People have different terms, and I tend to, this is another thing that we have to discuss when it comes to mindset, is like, what do we even call it? Because if you call it bulking, I think that that's like a harsh term that sometimes females don't really like that term. I think the term that I like best is gaining, because if you think of a gaining phase, you automatically, as a bodybuilder or a physique athlete, can correlate that with muscle gain, as opposed to bulking. Kind of sounds like you're just gaining a ton of fat, which kind of sometimes does happen with some people when they do go on these big bulking phases or dirty bulk phases. Now, the reality of it is that whilst a lot of people will think from a mindset perspective that you're just going to be eating tons and tons of food, now this is only real in some situations. Now, I've had the pleasure to work with a wide range of clientele in several different gaining phases. And I'll have some females that do eat a ton of food. I'm talking like 3,500 calories for a small female. I have those clients. I also have clients that are male and that are gaining on much less. And the idea behind this, guys, is that everyone is very, very different from a metabolic point of view. Your metabolisms are very, very different. And people's ability to gain on different macronutrient setups or calories is widely diverse. And so therefore, when going into a gaining phase, what you must consider is that over the course of time, you must only eat to suffice the goal. So the goal is to gain muscle mass at a optimal rate. And what optimal rate is very, very highly correlative to your current body weight. So if you're a smaller female, you're going to be gaining slower. If you're a larger male, you can gain a little bit faster. And over the course of time, again, this changes, because as you gain more experience in the gym, the rate of gain that you can push in an off-season or a massing phase is different. Over time, it'll be less and less and less and less, because as a younger trainee, you have the advantage of a greater ability to pack on lean tissue. So you can push your body weight up that little bit faster. So the reality is, people will gain on different calories. You're not necessarily going to be someone that's absolutely slamming calories. The other thing that you need to consider is calories in a gaining phase is highly influenced by your ability to train hard. And over the course of a gaining phase, your training should get harder and harder. And your calories should get higher and higher. At some extent, you may well hit a calorie amount which just gets you to gain regardless, and that's fine. But for the most part, the biological processes that recovery demands in terms of calories is much greater as you train harder and harder. So as training volumes go up and weight on the bar goes up, the amount of calories that you need to just recover from those sessions is in turn going up. So you must, at some point, as training intensity grows, training volume grows, weight on the bar grows, you grow, your calories will in turn go up. Hence why, like, in a lot of my posts or a lot of other posts you'll see from coaches, is like, you must progress your lifts and progress your calories. The idea of progressive calories makes sense, because you are progressing as an individual, you're getting heavier and bigger and more muscle mass, and at the same time, the recovery demands are getting higher, they're increased. So all the biological processes of recovery are getting heightened by the fact that you are shifting heavier weights, potentially higher volumes, and therefore creating a bigger recovery demand. So you've got to think of your gaining phase as a long-term process. And this brings me to my point as like, a lot of people will too frequently diet for occasions like holidays, social occasions, etc. Now, this is fine if you don't want to maximize your potential as a physique athlete. So if you have no plans of getting on stage, you have no plans in terms of maximizing your potential physique on stage, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. But at the same time, you've got to think, what do I want to maximize the most? Like how I look on holiday or how I look the next time I get on stage. And 10 out of 10 times or 9 out of 10 times, if you're a dedicated physique athlete, you're going to want to promote the best result on stage as opposed to the best result for a short, instant gratification type thing. So, point that I'm trying to make is that think of your off season or gaining phase as something that is a long-term investment. Don't diet, mini cut unless you have to, which we've discussed in previous videos. And remember the importance of like, your calories are your calories. If you're gaining at the right rates, perfect. If you get a window or an opportunity to increase those calories, take it. Why do you need to take that? Because think of building your calories in an off season as building ammunition for fat loss. The more ammunition you have at the start of a fat loss phase, the easier it will be from a psychological point of view. And the easier it may well be from just getting there. Because if you start a diet on 2,000 calories, where the fuck are you going? You've got minimal calories to play with. Whereas if you work your calories up in an off season, you take every opportunity that you have to increase calories, you will have the ability to chip away at that number, start losing, and you'll probably end up on more calories at the end of your diet as comparative to if you hadn't taken those opportunities and you'd slacked on your calorie increments. So off seasons, gaining phases, you do need some level of dedication to maximize them. Of course you can relax. Of course you can have some phases where you do eat out and you do maybe not hit your macros to the T. But the individuals that really get the best results, like they're maximizing day in, day out. They really are. And that's the kind of content that I want to put out to you guys, is that how we're going to maximize everything that we do. And of course, if you have questions as to like how I relax or what I do in an off season, please ask and I'll give you my insight. But hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it made sense and you got something from it. Of course, any questions with relevance to the topic or any other questions and videos you want to see, please let me know. I'm going to definitely try and get some training footage this week for a training vlog, and we'll have that up by the end of the week also. And yeah, cheers guys, and see you in the next video.